Greetings. In the last video, I asked the question, the same question that the majority of Christians in the West, especially the US, are asking: Is Islam a religion of peace? And I explained that Christianity is not a religion of peace, Judaism is not a religion of peace, Hinduism is not a religion of peace. There is no faith on earth that is a religion of peace. But the verses about peace in Quran are many, as an order to the Muslims to make peace with those who wish to have peace. Again, don't judge Islam based on the actions of Muslims, but based on the Quran and the true teaching of Islam. Quran is. Alright, let's continue today, again about the same topic. Is Islam a religion of peace? You hear from many Christians in the West, especially in the US, how the US, America, was built on the Judeo-Christian belief. So they are, the major basis of the US society in the vast majority are Christians and Jews. And those are ruling the country anyway. Even the army is full, the vast majority are Christians and some Jews, plus other beliefs, and some mercenaries. Fine. Let's see, this country built on Christian Jewish beliefs. What it did. Those who come from Christians and from Jewish. They started, their terrorism and their rotten actions against the Red Indians. They wiped them out. They called them terrorists, the true owners of the country. Then they started to bringing slaves, black people, free people. They used to pay merchants, who will enslave them in Africa and bringing them to the US, and they buy them so cheap because blacks have no real value. And then they had the civil war over the rights of the blacks under Abraham Lincoln. The history of the US is so miserable. This Jewish Christian belief foundation, miserable. Two miserable beliefs. They came together in one country. What to expect? During its sad, evil life, this country, the US, warred against Vietnam. Everybody knows what they did, the terrorism of the Americans and the American army, this army of Satan, what they did in Vietnam, what they did in Korea, what they did in Cuba. They made so many wars. There is no nation in history as evil as this Jewish Christian founded country. Of course, we know how they invaded one country in South America. We know how recently, in recent history, in the last few years, they destroyed Iraq with lies about weapons of mass destruction, ties with Al-Qaeda, and all those were lies. And they know it. And the world knows it. They destroyed Afghanistan, they destroyed many other countries. And they were about to destroy the Middle East with a war against Iran, the strong and powerful Iran. But they chickened out. They couldn't do it. They almost launched a war against Syria. But Russia built a wall of ships against the ships of the USA. And those, USA were saved by the bill when Syria said, okay, we are going to dump the chemicals. We don't need it anyway. We're not going to use it. We are not Jews and Israelis or Americans who used the nuclear bomb in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. that suffers for hundreds of years into our future since the World War II. The only miserable country in the world that used nuclear bombs is the USA. Christian Jewish founded, built on Jewish Christian terrorism belief. And those, the worst terrorists, always call others by terrorists. Listen to the joke. Palestinians, their land were raped by the Israeli terrorists, Israelis, who committed many massacres against the people of Palestine. We didn't forget about Gaza, what happened in Gaza recently. Maybe we forgot about Deir Yassin and other places in Palestine, the massacres, the Israeli massacres against the Palestinians, killing thousands of them, bulk killing. So those terrorist Israelis and their terrorist slaves from the US, Christian US, call the Palestinian, the owner of the country, by terrorists. So, is Christianity a religion of peace? Well, perhaps Jesus stood on the mountain and he said, "Yay to the peacemakers." And those Christians in the US and the Jews, their masters, who they serve, with stupidity, they are the worst terrorists in the 21st century. This is Christianity. Welcome to Christianity in the 21st century. We are not talking medieval, black history of the Christian faith. We are not talking about the terrorism of the Israelis in Palestine for the last 70 years, or before they left for 2,000 years, and their evil stories, Samson, and all the wars they had against the Palestinians, the murders, the killing, since the beginning of their history, since they were liberated from Egypt. So, yes, Islam is a religion of peace, whether you like it or you turn blue in the face. If you want, we can show you the verses, the ayahs in the book, the Noble Quran. One example says, if your enemy come to fight you and want to kill you, but when they feel defeated or about to be defeated, and they seek peace, Allah says clearly, give them peace. After all their attempt to take your life away. This is Islam. This is what we mean by Islam is a religion of peace. I'll continue after this video back to the worst of the worst among the Antichrist from the Christians. Take care.